nation will face new regulations in the real estate market starting this weekend, rules that are expected to impact how home buyers and realtors interact.
KCBD News Channel 11's Amani Jackson details these upcoming changes and what local experts are saying about how it will affect the buying process.
Big changes are coming to the real estate market starting Saturday. Home buyers will have to sign an agreement before they can view a house. The new requirement is designed to make the process more transparent. It is meant to clearly define expectations before any property visit. However, the impact for buyers and realtors is still being discussed. Jeff Kahn, chairman of the Texas Realtors Association, explains the process.
Your agent's going to give you a form, and there's lots of different versions. Some of them are for 1 hour or cover one house. Some of them are more in-depth, where they cover the buying process from beginning to end.
This follows the 2019 Missouri versus National Association of Realtors lawsuit. The court found the association's practice of requiring home sellers to pay buyers' agents commissions was anti-competitive. This decision resulted in a $1.8 billion settlement and prompted changes in the real estate commission practices. To understand how these changes will affect local buyers and realtors, Michael Holton, president of the Lubbock Association of Realtors, urges buyers to protect themselves and their finances during the home buying process.
I would say use a professional realtor for representation. Going out to purchase a home is not an everyday thing. Don't go it alone. Be represented, and professional realtors will walk you through the process. You can, again, read over your documents when you're presented with one. Don't just sign and go.
To learn more about how these changes will impact viewers and to stay informed throughout the transition, the Texas Realtors Association is offering resources on its website. Imani Jackson, KCBD News, Channel 11.